What's going on, everybody? My name is Hydros, and welcome back to some more My Hero Academia Ultra Impact. And today, the brand new Nejire Hado banner is now live in the game. So we're going to go over the new Nejire, the new Ochaco, and the new memories here in today's video and see what they actually can do. So before we go and do that, make sure you guys go down there, click that red subscribe button if you haven't already, click that bell, turn on all notifications that miss on any future videos, as well as drop a like down below on today's video if you guys are a big fan of Nejire Hado. All right, so Nejire Hado's little plus ultra animation is playing in the background, but let's see what their kits actually do, because I'm very interested to see. I know the big three are big hype for My Hero Academia because, you know, they are, the big three, obviously. So HP 28,100, quite a bit of HP. Just by judging based off of her action skill icons, I feel like she's going to be somewhat of a supporting type. Also, those auto skill passives just scream support. But either way, we have 5,876 power, so she's not high on the power side. She's more on the HP and speed side, and then a crit rate of 10. Again, crit rate of 10 is not out of the question, right? A lot of characters have crit rate of 10 or 15 or something like that, but all right, her plus ultra move is going to be Ultra Nejire Wave, deals 600% damage to a single opponent. By the way, when we do read these, abilities and stuff like that, just note that this is at their maximum potential, their maximum limit break ability boards and stuff like that. So as again, it does say right here, but just remember this is their maximum potential right here when you're reading these abilities. So deals 600% damage to a single enemy and increases plus ultra gauge of all allies excluding Nejire by 20%. Also regenerates HP of allies excluding Nejire by 20% for... That's it? Is that all? Okay, cool. Also regenerates HP of all allies excluding character by 20% for something. I don't know if that's like 2 turns, 3 turns. I assume that's a turn, then it's just cut off or something. I have no idea what happened there, but either way, let's look at the other ability here. So this is Fantastical Sky Dance. Restores HP of a single ally by 25%. Increases power of the ally by 30% for 3 turns. Restores HP of all allies by 25%. Cooldown time of 6 turns. So yes, she is definitely a supporting character, but she is a nutty supporting character. Restoring HP of a single ally by 20%, and then also increasing the power of that same ally by 30% for 3 turns, and then also restoring the HP of all your allies by 25%. So that's insane. She's a good healer right there. So that's going to be really interesting. She's going to give you HP increase as well as restoring HP and then increasing power and then restoring HP for all your allies. So that's really cool. Let's see. So Power Wave deals 250% damage to all opponents. So it's an AoE. Decreases the power of all opponents by 25% for 3 turns. So she's going to be debuffing their attack for 3 turns. That's actually really nice. That's going to be really handy for stuff like VE Tower and plus the Ultra Arena and stuff like that. So that's going to be really decent to have. Also increases plus Ultra Gauge of all allies by 15%. Cooldown time of 4 turns. 4? Really? They let you get that quick again to decrease power? That's really good, actually. I don't mind that. I was expecting maybe 5 or 6 because of that decrease of opponent's power, but still 4 turns, pretty good. And again, you're going to get that increase of plus ultra gauge for all your allies by 15%. So that's really good. Getting that plus ultra gauge a lot sooner matters quite a bit for some of these events like the VE Tower, USJ and stuff like that. Her first auto skill is increases plus ultra gauge of all UA high student allies by 25% when the battle starts. So as soon as the battle starts, you're going to get that increase of 25% if your allies are UA high students. So basically all of the student characters, right? All right. Then her second auto skill is regenerates HP of all allies by 20% for 3 turns when a wave starts. So if you have multiple waves of enemies, let's say 2, 3, at the start of each wave, you're going to be getting 20% regenerative HP for 3 turns. So that's going to be really handy as well. Also, once per battle gives character ability to make last stand 1 time when HP is below 50%. So last stand 1 time, so she actually can live. I believe that's live on 1 HP if I'm remembering that ability correctly. So she's gonna live and attack, and then she can still survive and continue on, right, for a little while longer. So that's gonna be good. That way you get to keep her around a little longer, so you can help support your other characters and stuff like that. So Definitely looking like a very solid support unit. Really want to test her out on a green team, especially. But here we have the new green Ochaco, 22,601 HP, 5,262 power, speed of 319, crit rate of 10. Again, crit rate of 10 is pretty standard among characters. Okay, so Ochaco deals 500% damage. This is Gravity Blow, Pulse Ultra, 500% damage to a single opponent. Then skill impact, or I think those are action skills, or no, skill damage. Skill impact means skill damage. I don't know why they call it skill impact, but either way, skill damage is increased by 30% if character is affected by a speed up. So if your speed is increased, you're going to get that extra skill damage of 30%. So that's going to be really interesting. Skill damage is increased by 30% if the opponent is affected by speed decrease. So if your opponent has a speed decrease buff, debuff, then you're going to be getting that extra 30% again. So not only if you have the speed up, your opponent has speed down, that's a 60% increase in your skill damage. It's going to be really good for her. So Wire Blow deals 300% damage to a single opponent. Skill damage is increased by 40% if opponent is affected by speed down. So Ochaco is heavily reliant on having speed decreasing characters on your team. So you don't want maybe like Air Force Deku. Air Force Deku does have an ability where he decreases speed. Momo does decrease speed. There's a few characters that actually do it, so she's gonna go well with a few decent amount of these characters that do decrease speed. Also increases plus ultra gauge by 30% when used in a third successful executed skill chain. So if you use this skill in the third slot of the skill chain, is if I'm reading that correctly, or you just need a skill chain of 3. The way it's worded is really weird. I assume that you have to either use it in a skill chain of 3, just 3 in general, so you have to do all 3 characters with an action skill chain, or it has to be the third one in the skill chain to actually activate. So it's either one of those. I'm assuming just by the way it's worded, it's the third slot that this one has to be chained in. So that's just my thought. And a cooldown of 3 turns. Okay, that's not too bad. 3-turn cooldown. All right, zero gravity control increases speed of all allies by 25% for 3 turns. Also decreases speed of all opponents by 15% for 3 turns. So that speed debuff and speed increase, she is definitely getting it for herself. She is literally using that ability, gonna be getting her plus ultra pretty easily. Those conditions met on that plus ultra right when you use this ability here. So that's really good. Again, this will go, I think she'll go well with Nejire. I really do think she'll go well with Nejire on the team. But let's see. Her first auto skill increases plus ultra gauge of all int type allies. Oh, int, so green type. So green is called int in this game for whatever reason. I'm used to it being purple. Either way, increases plus ultra gauge of all green type allies by 20% when the battle starts. So you're gonna get that 20% plus ultra gauge buff. Her and Nejire put together, you're getting that plus ultra gauge really quickly. So if you get that plus ultra gauge really quick, you want to then pop off this ability here, then pop off your plus ultra gauge with Ochaco, because you're going to get that speed up and speed down skill impact increase. So that's going to be really useful for that. So again, handling the plus ultra attack that way is going to be really good. Increases character's critical hit rate by 40% when HP is 50% or higher. Once the battle starts, once per battle, increase character's plus ultra gauge by 100% when HP is below 30%. So if Ochaco ever does fall below 30%, once per battle, she is going to then basically get, boom, an instant plus ultra gauge. So that can be useful. If you do run her with Nejire, and with Nejire's healing, it'd be really interesting to see how often you actually hit below that 30%. Again, we'll have to test that out. So we have Adventure Awaits. This is from the little special episode where they did that like a medieval type of thing, right? It's cool. I like seeing this memory stuff like that coming around, so that's really cool. HP 7,356, power 2640, and 165 speed. All right, so this memory is going to do, also this is also displayed at max stats and limit break. So increases characters' abilities depending on the types of characters on the team. Increases characters' powers by 25% if there are any STR type characters. Skill impact or skill damage increased by 30% if there are any ABL type characters. What are ABL? The ABL like ability? What is that? I don't know why these things are called this way, but sure. I believe AB is ABL. I'm not actually sure. Max HP increased by 30% if there are any int types, so any green types characters on your team. Critical hit rate increased by 25% if there are any MND type, mind type? Mind? I don't know. God, they worded these typings so weird in this game. And then speed increased by 25% if there are any DST type characters. So this is heavily reliant on you running different types of characters. This Ochaco works well with the Nejire most likely, so you're probably going to get that intelligence type buff by that max HP increase, so that's going to be really interesting. Again, these units can work on teams with other different characters, right? Especially Nejire, who's going to work well with other UA students specifically. So again, it's going to be real interesting how people build these teams and how people use this memory. Again, this works with a variety of different characters. You could literally throw this on anybody really, and stuff like that, but definitely tailored towards some of these characters, especially that Ochaco, right? So sweet girls love sweets. 5,916, 2,240, and 135 speed. Increases characters max HP by 25%. Further increases characters max HP by 25% when equipped by a female character. So you're gonna get that HP buff from this memory. And pretty useful. HP, you know, helps you survive a little longer. This memory probably will do well on quite a few female characters if you do happen to pull it. So that's gonna be really cool. And then the drop rate. Let's see what the drop rate is. So we're obviously 2% rate up characters, stuff like that. We already know. Either way. So this Nejire, my final thoughts and opinions on this Nejire. Nejire is going to be a really good green supporter unit. So I definitely think she's good to summon for if you really need that support. Also, if you really just like Nejire, summon on the banner. Her and Ochaco do pair well together. This Nejire will work well some with the other big three characters as well. Also, she'll work well with a lot of UA students as well, especially green type characters, right? So definitely think Nejire is a good support unit to have on your team. Definitely think it's worth summoning on her banner, especially this is a great unit for the first ever banner on the global side as well. So again, I do recommend throwing a couple multis at this if you do happen to have enough. So again, she's definitely worth it. Definitely think Nejire is a great unit to pick up. Again, a great support unit and stuff. And the SR Ochaco is also a great unit as well. Ochaco is actually going to be dealing out some good damage on her action skills with those buffs that she's going to be getting, especially from using her own action skill as well to decrease the speed and increase her own speed or whatever have you, right? So getting that skill damage increase, Ochaco is probably going to be putting out some decent numbers. Nejire going to be there supporting her and supporting your team, healing you up and stuff like that. So it's going to be really cool. And the memories are awesome too. Again, the memories are there just to support the characters and stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple singles at it just because why not? I just want to throw a couple singles. Let's see if we get lucky here today just to end off the video. All right, we're definitely not getting anything. Oh, geez, you gotta tease us like that. The Nejire at the end, bro. All right, Nejire at the end. Let's go throw one more single. Don't want to go below 1,500, but again, let's see. Yeah, okay. Our memories. That's okay. Okay. Let me know what you think of the Nejire and Ochaco down in the comments down below, as well as the memories. Again, I do think. Again, I'm saying this a lot, but I do think the Nejire is a good pickup character for you guys if you guys are looking for that good support type unit. I definitely think Nejire would be a big help in stuff like VE Tower, as well as stuff like Ultra Arena, and even some USJ boss fights. I definitely think she will come in very handy when dealing with those events and stuff like that late game. So definitely think Nejire is a good pickup. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.